The concept of deep work may sound straightforward in theory. You set aside an entire afternoon, silence your phone, and eliminate all distractions. No notifications, no music, no noise. Just you and the one task that truly matters. You're ready. And then you manage to focus for all of 12 minutes. It's not boredom that disrupts you, it's anxiety. As soon as the silence envelops you, your mind floods with intrusive thoughts and what ifs, accompanied by that familiar tightness in your chest. Those distractions weren't merely hindering your productivity, they were actually serving as a buffer for your mind. You've been led to believe that distraction is a sign of moral failure, evidence of a lack of discipline. But what if what you label as poor focus is simply your nervous system's way of preventing you from spiraling when everything else falls quiet? What if most advice regarding focus assumes that your brain is a calm, neutral space to be in? Now, consider this advice in the context of a real day. You sit down already burdened with sleep deprivation, unresolved conflicts, unfinished tasks, financial worries, and perhaps a neurotype that naturally runs hot. Your mind isn't starting from a blank slate. It's already buzzing with activity. Then you introduce the ideal environment: complete silence, towering expectations, and a single high stakes task that feels like a reflection of your worth. This combination can easily trigger your sympathetic nervous system. Your heart rate rises, your breathing becomes shallow, and your shoulders tighten. The room feels constricting. The narrative in your head begins to sound like, "This has to go perfectly. I can't waste this opportunity. If I fail, it proves I'm not as capable as I thought." Almost instinctively, your hand reaches for a new tab, messages, or a game. You convince yourself it's just a brief break, but what you're really seeking is a moment of relief, a chance for the pressure to ease and your chest to loosen. Then comes the guilt. If I had true discipline, I would just stay focused. You don't see that your body was already on high alert before you even began your deep work. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Your brain has an alarm system that monitors for threats. It doesn't only respond to physical danger, it reacts to social judgments, uncertain outcomes, and anything that could reflect poorly on your identity. When you sit in the silence with a high stakes task, that alarm system can only latch onto the potential for failure, so it kicks into gear, scanning for danger and nudging you toward anything that can lower the intensity. Checking your phone, launching a game, scrolling through social media, or playing music, these are all strategies your system has learned will help dial down the anxiety. This is regulation, not a pursuit of perfect calm. It's about finding a way to transition from being too activated to think, back to a state where your thinking brain can function. Regulation isn't a sign of weakness or laziness, it's your body trying to ensure you can keep going with the resources it currently has. Much of what you perceive as distraction is actually your body managing anxiety with the tools available to it at the moment. Your capacity is your ability to handle tension while still being able to think clearly. This capacity fluctuates from day to day. It's not a fixed personality trait or a judgment on your work ethic. You can think of it in three general categories. High capacity: your system feels mostly stable. Quiet focus may be uncomfortable but manageable, and you can handle more silence and complexity. Medium capacity: you feel some activation in the background. You can concentrate, but you require structure, time limits, and some gentle input to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Low capacity: anxiety is prominent, or you're feeling deeply drained. Long periods of silence aren't realistic. You need small, well defined tasks and strong support to keep moving forward. Underlying these categories are real factors: sleep quality, health issues, unresolved conflicts, grief, ADHD, trauma history, medication changes, and hormonal fluctuations. Much of the advice surrounding deep work tends to overlook these realities. It assumes you're always operating at full capacity and then criticizes your discipline when you're not. You're not broken because you can't enter monk mode on a day when your system is running on empty. It's like trying to run a demanding program on a device that's already at 5% battery. Instead of asking, why can't I focus like I'm supposed to? Try asking, what's my current capacity and what actually aligns with that state? Tool 1, Capacity Check-in. Before you begin a work session, ask yourself, on a scale from 1 to 10, what's my real capacity right now? This isn't about what you wish it were. It's about the number your body would give if it could express itself. Consider 4 factors: sleep, current stress levels, background anxiety, and whether you're navigating ADHD or other forms of neurodivergence with little support that day. If you rate yourself an 8 to 10, traditional deep work may be feasible. At 5 to 7, you'll likely need structured sprints and some level of input. At 1 to 4, your goal should be small wins: one email, one paragraph, one problem. Tool 2, Structured sprint with intentional input. On a medium capacity day, set a timer for 20 to 40 minutes. Choose one specific outcome. Draft the introduction. Review 3 pages or outline the next section. Then select background input intentionally: lo-fi beats, rain sounds, or cafe ambiance. Something steady enough to occupy the part of your brain that tends to spiral without pulling you away from the task. When the timer goes off, step away from screens for a few minutes and then decide, one more sprint or done for now. Remember, this isn't about proving your worth. It's about experimenting with your nervous system and gathering data on what truly helps you stay engaged. So, the focus shifts from what's wrong with my concentration to what is the state of my nervous system and what does it need to feel safe enough to think. Today, take a moment for an honest capacity check-in. Design one sprint that aligns with that number, including any background input you require, and observe how your urge to escape evolves. This isn't cheating. It's about learning to work with the system you have, rather than the one you wish you had. If you like that, watch what's next. YouTube picked it just for you. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.